All right, hi everyone. How are you doing? The new camera is here and it is working and it is functioning just like I need it to. I am so happy. I cannot tell you how I'm so glad this camera drama is done. Oh, what a headache. You never know how much you use something until you can't use it for a couple weeks, and it's just one of those things that was like, no! But it is working. It is something I can adjust again, so yay for that. And then thank you for everyone who's already joined in on the chat. I'm seeing you right there. So let's see, we already have Two Guns Painting, Ian, Steven, Miguel just jumped in. Miguel is actually the fellow who's helped me out with these two minis. Now, little backstory here. I'm painting the Crocodile Folk that I have created for my homebrew for the game I'm going to be running at D&D in a Castle in June at Caverswall Castle. And I came up with this mother and son concept, riffing ideas off with my husband. And instead of lizard folk, I've made them crocodile folk because the speakeasy that BB's place is set in is basically in this swampy Louisiana-like area. And I thought it'd be really funny to have people who were sort of more nodding towards crocodiles to fit in with the theme and the environment. And I'm going to show you some pictures. I made these pictures up with the program I have called Portrait Wizard, and I got that off of Steam. And it's one of those things where I just fiddled around a little bit. So on the one side you have the mother, and she is an ornery old lady who likes things to go her way, is very set in her ways. And then next to her is her son, and that is Calamus. The mother's name is Camilla. And so this is the Catuaba family, and they're crocodile people. So what I did is I reached out to Miguel, better known as MZ4250, and said, could you help me with the minis? Because I really want to have the minis for the table. And he said, sure, can get it pulled together for you. When do you need it? I said, well, not until June. Dude, how quickly did you have these ready? I think I want to say it was like within a week he had the minis pulled together. And bless your heart, he also sat on the whole fact that he did these for me for a little bit because I didn't want to reveal them until they had revealed themselves in a gameplay environment. So actually last time around BB's place, these two lovelies made their appearance. So here we have the son, Cal, and the mom, Camilla. And this is what he's come up with for me. And I like the second he sent me pictures, I was already loving them just because of how great they look. But I wanted Cal to have a ladle because the ladle is his weapon. So I've tweaked this weapon for him. And he's got this lovely apron and everything going on, which is what I was hoping for. And he's even got the tail going on. And Miguel, did you do this on purpose? The shoes? I was looking at the shoes this morning and I realized they look like Crocs. So if you did that intentionally, bravo. If not, still say you did, because I started cracking up like, oh my God, the Croc is wearing Crocs. So I thought that was great. So this is Calamus, and here's Mama. And I love Mama. Mama's just this ornery old woman. And she's fun to play too. But I told him she's wearing a bathrobe. She has like, you know, curlers in her hair, all a crazy Walmart lady, and a frying pan. The frying pan's her weapon. Well, he goes and he creates her and then goes, wait, hold on. And he sends me another file, and wouldn't you know, he's given her bunny slippers. The second I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's perfection. So this is Mama. We're going to be painting up Camilla as well. So I'm really excited to get these two painted up. What I'm going to do first is, well, first what I did is I primed them in black, and then what I did is I went in with the, what is it called? Stone gray? I believe it's called stone gray. I have to look in my, I put it away. I painted up with a quick dragging of the brush with stone gray to bring out the details. Mon, Pa, Killer. Yeah, it's Ma and son. And Cal is actually a real softy. Ma's the one you have to watch out for. Oh, then Jen did a great idea, Miguel, giving her the bunny slippers, because that was just, God, that sold it for me even more. So I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely putting her to use. So, you know, it's the whole like curlers in the hair, the bathrobe, the bunny slippers. I'm just like, oh, I'm all over this. But they got the prime in black, and then they got the stone wash on them. Not wash, but dry brush to get them a little bit more drawn out detail-wise. I'm also getting over a head cold, so I'm kind of space cadet mode. Thank you to medication. Hello, Closet Geek. Thanks for jumping in. And you as well, John S. I just saw you pop in as well. So I'm going to get started with these two, and it's going to be a combination of Vallejo paints as well as my paints from Plaid products, simply because there are some colors I want to use that I don't have in my selection for Vallejo game color line, which is what I have for my Vallejo paint colors, for anyone wondering. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take, is it yellow? Oh, no, here we go. So I'm going to take Vallejo's Yellow Olive, this one, and I also love the fact my cameras are back to how they're supposed to be because I can get the settings back to where they should be. So we're going to start with this, and we're going to get the skin tone done on both of them. Then I'm going to paint Cal, and then I'll switch over to painting Mama. because Mama's going to be fun with some really bright colors, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of work on them both at the same time, especially because with the skin tone, they're both going to get started about the same way anyways. So I've just put in the yellow olive from the game line, and if the music starts getting too loud, let me know. I will adjust accordingly. And now comes the time for which brush do I want to use. I think I'm going to use, this is what I'm going to use for my brush right now. This is one of the Vallejos. It's the number 000. We'll get started with this one. And yeah, so since I'm getting over this head cold, I'm probably going to be stopping a lot to take a sip, and maybe not talking quite as much as I normally do because my voice is kind of tagging in and out on me, as you can hear. So I'll definitely be painting these guys. I made sure to have some fun, peppy music going in the background. Again, because the homebrew is a speakeasy itself, I thought it'd be fun to have some like ragtime, swing time-esque music going so that you can get into the vibe of BB's place. And I'm really falling in love with being able to share that game with other people because we've had a lot of fun with the past few times I've run it on Scrat's channel. And I'm doing another round, I was going to say May, we're in the month of March. March 23rd at 10 p.m. for their Academy weekend. I will be running another round of BB's Place. So if you want to see what this homebrew is all about, granted it's theater of the mind, all this terrain and minis that I'm doing, that's for the castle stuff. But you can get a taste for what BB's Place is like and the NPCs I've been creating. Not sure if Mama's going to show up, but they might have a chance to interact with Cal. Oh yeah, definitely. Have me on mute while you do a conference call, because that might create some questions if you don't. I joke. But yeah, this morning I sat down this morning and I was pulling together some fun music that more fits in with the ragtime, fun, upbeat music, which luckily I found a good selection, so I was happy about that. And I think I'm going to do that for every time I start working on a BB's miniature, because then it, you know, thematically fits. I may even like tweak the background too, just for fun. But yeah, so that's the plan. Get these two painted up and raring to go. And it was fun creating them and giving them their little stats and special abilities and everything. Like they can attack with their tails. They have a tail attack, which is a lot of fun. Mama uses hers at will. Cal's a little bit more careful, being that he's the cook at BB's. He wants to make sure he's not knocking things over and creating chaos. But he is quite the talented chef. I do have fun describing the food that people smell when they come into the speakeasy. We've had a few chat sessions with the game where people are like, oh my gosh, I'm hungry now. I'm like, oh yeah, you're going to be hungry. So right now it's just this yellow olive, which even though it says yellow olive, it's more an olive green, really. But I'm starting this with this base tone of the skin color, and then I'm going to go in with a lighter to highlight it out and bring out those details a little bit more. Now, because I did that stone gray underneath, it does help give some more detail of an undertone, which is nice. That's why I like doing that. And now let me get his arms. But yeah, I saw the, you know what I'm going to do? It is dry today. I'm going to add a little bit of airbrush thinner to my paints because it's drying quickly. Hey, Chameleon fam! Thanks for jumping in. Good to see you. Oh, it was so good to see you last Thursday too. Everyone was so happy to see you. It's been a while. Oh, and Miguel, you just said, oh yeah, trust me, I might have a few more coming your way. Actually, I do want to talk to you. Miguel, remind me to talk to you after this is done, because I had an idea last night at like 1 o'clock in the morning when I woke up with an itchy throat. But I want to talk to you about something, so we will chat later. But thank you, Chameleon fam. This is Cal. For those just jumping in, this is Cal. He's one of my NPCs for BB's Place. And I love him. Yeah, basically it was one of those things I was, pardon me, chatting with my husband and saying how, you know, I wanted to do something fun for the cook, not like your typical cook. Nope, I'm just getting started here, Ravenwolf. Welcome and hello. And, you know, because of the environment, like, oh, it'd be really fun to have like crocodile people. I'm like, I'm not sure of their personality. And he goes, well, what about, like, you know, make him kind of like the mother and son from Waterboy? And the second he said that, I was like, oh my God, that's absolute perfection, because it was kind of going with the vibe I was going to start creating with them anyways, because she's very much the overbearing mother, and he's just this guy who wants to do his, you know, do his 5-star meals. So it was, the second he said that, I was like, oh yeah, that gives me a direction. So it was fun playing them out the other session that I did on Scratch Channel a couple weeks back, I want to say. And just having that hilarity play out. I got a little bit too much of my brush right there. Hold on. There we go. So yeah, that's something I'm really looking forward to doing. And then I have a patron game happening the 22nd, actually, through the Discord chat. And I'll be running it Theater of the Mind style for people, but they're going to get the advantage of PC portraits and things like that. What's this thing? This is my camera. This is what helps you see this. Otherwise, it'd be just me. So that is going to be fun too. I'm really excited to get my patrons playing and taking them into that world as well. And it's one of those things, I'll probably be doing it again soon. I just sit there listening to music kind of like this, the ragtime music. And I just start brainstorming and fleshing out encounters and everything like that, because I have it set up sort of like a sandbox in the speakeasy itself, so people can explore it a little bit and go into different levels and different areas. And depending on what they're doing and what it is that they're looking to do, I have all these different encounters ready to go. Football is the devil. Foosball. And I did get to work that into the role play with her in the last game. It was so much fun because we had 2 tieflings. It was too perfect. She kept pointing at them. The devils. You devils. All right, don't do that with a sick throat. But yeah, the second I'm like, oh, I have 2 tieflings to play around with this. This is perfection. This is perfection. And it really was hysterically funny. I also am slightly shaky today, thanks to having to take an inhaler, which is why I'm actually holding it as opposed to putting it up on a jar like I normally do. Gives me slightly more control. But it was either breathe or don't do the stream. Kathy Bates. Oh yeah. Yeah, Kathy Bates with a sledgehammer is terrifying. That's a whole different game and or movie. But I thought a frying pan was appropriate for Mama. Yeah, I'm definitely liking, whoops. I'm liking this olive green for the base skin tone. It's looking nice. All right, let's get his tail. Now, I already decided his Crocs are going to be, because you know how Crocs are like these different obnoxious colors. I am definitely doing his Crocs like a bright neon green. I thought that'd be too funny and too perfect. The rest of him, though, is basically whites and blacks and reds, because that's sort of the uniform colors that happen in BB's plays. So I'll be working with those for his apron. I'm going to leave a black tone. So actually I'm going to do a black wash over the apron since it already has the details brought out. And then I'll go in and give him some red pants and a, well, white. We'll get it to white type of thing. A white top is the game plan for his color scheme. And Mama's just going to be a fun mix of bright colors and pastels. And I don't know if you saw the tweet I put up yesterday with the caiman that was sunning itself on a rock with all the butterflies on it, with a big smile on their face. That is absolutely working its way into how I'm going to paint up Camilla. I'm going to try and paint some butterflies onto her bathrobe. I thought that'd be too much fun, for sure. But I'm so thrilled with how these came out. Miguel, really, seriously, thank you. And you need to go and check out Miguel's stuff if you have not already. He's on Thingiverse and Shapeways. MZ4250. He has got, oh my gosh, how many files do you have up now? I mean, we have a good chunk of them. My husband really, like, once we got our 3D printer up and running, that was like the first, really the first profile he started working with and visiting and printing out a lot of your files, Miguel. In fact, the purple worm should pop up every so often. Here's one of Miguel's great minis. All right, I got to turn him upside down, so it might be an awkward angle for a couple minutes, tops, but I have to get his undercarriage. Get up in that undercarriage. Yeah, you're not going to get this too well. But either I get paint on it where I can see, or you can see and I can't see. Kind of a tricky situation, but here we go. Look at him. All right, so I believe, let me see here. Yeah, this is where I'm going to stop with him for the olive green. Now I'm going to move on to Mama. Let's see here. Oh, hey, Jen, hello. Oh, perfect. I love that you accessorize them, Jen. Thank you so much for those little extra touches, because that's what really makes them such fun. I got to meet Jen and Miguel at PAX Unplugged, and that was really cool. And hopefully I'll get to see you guys there again next year. Hint, hint. Please come. And then I have PAX East coming up, like in a week. 2 weeks. No, 2 weeks. Oh, God, this cold medicine. Yes, so Miguel has 1,500 plus files free so far, because he's awesome like that. He also has a Patreon, if you want to check it out. If you have a 3D printer and you want access to some cool free files, yeah, check him out. Great selection. Good stuff. Again, this is kind of an undercarriage thing, and I did slip, but it's getting painted. Not going to worry too much. Sorry, Mama, we're going to be very indelicate in a minute. This is not that type of session. This is why Mama's ornery. All right, I do need to get her ankles, because the slippers... God, I love the slippers! But I'm going to paint her ankles and the little top area of her feet with the same yellow olive from Vallejo's Game Color line. For those of you just jumping in, that's the color I'm using right now. And I did thin it out with some of Vallejo's airbrush thinner, just so it goes on a little bit more smoothly. But look at that. She's got ankles. She's got little ankles poking out. This just cracks me up. Hey, Mike McDonald. Miguel won't be able to put the link in, Jam, simply because we've had issues with people putting in links they should not. But I can put a link to his Thingiverse file in the description after the fact, or literally just go to thingiverse.com and type in MZ4250, and that should take you to his profile. But the links are just something where I've turned them off simply because it took a little less juggling having it where people couldn't post them anymore, thanks to a couple of interesting individuals. Let's put it that way. A couple of rotten apples spoiled it for the bunch. Actually, it was one thing where it could have risked my monetization, so I really had to make sure that would not happen again. All right, so here she goes. This gets her lovely little ankles and tail. Now I'll move up. Oh, it's fine. It's one of those things I was going to be painting anyways. Drink. I need a drink. It's water. It's water, I promise. Because I was actually debating it. It's like, I'm going to be painting it anyways. You guys are great. You'll understand if I have to take a sip of water or stop for a second for a little bit. Yeah, Miguel, like I said, you can't put the links in, but I'll put the link in after this is done for sure. Thanks, John. Have a great one. All right, let's get her hand now. Hopefully you guys can hear the music a little bit. I'm trying to make it so it's nice background and not too in your face. But here we go with the one hand, the hand on the hip. It's just, it's perfection. Truly. I'm not Pavlov to the Entertainer at all. That was actually probably my most favorite class in college. I took a American music theory class in college. So it started from 1900s up. Oh, it was so much fun. Hello, Jason. Thanks for stopping by. Let's get the other hand. I love the frying pan. It cracks me up. She's gonna whack you with it. Getting out of line. Frying pan's also going to stay. I'm going to do the same thing with the frying pan, like what I'm going to do with Cal's apron, to keep it more of that true black tone. It's half tempting to give it a couple touches of rust, but then again I was thinking, no, she's a good Southern cook. She's going to be taking care of her frying pan. Make sure it's ready for cooking and whacking. There we go. All right, hands are done. Let's get her face. Thank you very much, Jen. I appreciate your letting me know. And oh, hello, DCC. How have you been? I need to jump onto Discord to see how everyone's doing too. I feel badly. I have been under the weather since this past weekend. I lucked out and I had a cashier who was coughing like crazy over everything. And it was one of those things, it's like, you know, you're like, there's no way I'm not catching this. And sure enough, come Sunday, I just was not feeling great. So I've kind of been more mellow and just trying to rest and lie low so that I could do things like this in the games and everything still. So I've been slightly more radio silent on the social media stuff just because I'm going cross-eyed trying to read stuff too. And then make gumbo. Yeah. Oh, she makes mean gumbo. She's got herself some crawdaddies. All that. That is another funny thing I did. I hold on. I actually wrote up a drink and food menu for BB's place because what was happening as we were playing the playtest runs over on Scrat's channel, they'd go up to the bar and they kept asking my bartender, Mickey. I'm still waiting for people to get that reference. So they were asking Mickey, well, what do you have? What's good? And I was like, oh, I really should have like a list ready to go. So one night I just sat down and I actually looked at historically what was offered in speakeasies during Prohibition. So here we go. She's taking shape too with color. Oh, they're going to be so much fun. I can't wait to put them on the table. That's definitely one of those things. I'm not going to railroad people to the kitchen, but I'm going to encourage them to go to the kitchen. Better just have her come out. I am doing okay. Fighting a little cold here, hence the crackly voice and my needing to stop for sips of water more often than I normally do. So if you're new to this is not me at my top peak. My apologies. Well, this is a song I like. Thanks to, there's a guy online called TeknoAxe is his company name. He has these great files offered. So between him and stuff I was able to get off of the YouTube Creator Studio, I was a happy camper. Okay, I think that is it for us with the Cayman, well, not the Cayman green, the yellow olive. Right, the yellow olive? Yes, from Vallejo. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to painting Cal. And I think I'm going to start first with, let's do his pants first. So his pants are going to be the gory red. La la la. Which I did shake up earlier. Yeah, I did. So it gets just a little bit on here. I did have fun painting up the WizKids library set as well as their kegs set. That was fun to get done. It's like, it's a whole bunch of wood. Let's do some rinse more. Let's get those painted and going. So I did post those up on Twitter and on the Facebook page as well. And I have to check and see if I put them on other places. I'll catch up. I promise. But it's getting to be crunch time between getting things ready for the castle and... That's a you can fun name. Yeah, that would be fun, Michael, just to kind of have like a fun and special drink. Although I will say the wine list, because she's the one who makes the wine. She's a cleric of the vine. And I had a lot of fun with a couple friends just sitting there and making up wine names, which off the top of my head right now, they're not coming to me. But that was one of those things I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yes, that's going to be one. Like, I think Dragon's Tears is the Riesling that's available, if you like a nice Riesling. It was a fun menu to pull together. And the site I found actually went into full detail to even describe what the drinks looked like, so I have that available. That would be fun to be able to go into full details there. Let me just quickly check something. Yoink. Alright. We're good. I'm noticing the camera on me every so often has a slight delay, so I gotta check up and see what's going on that, because I did an update with OBS, not OBX, that's different. So I'm wondering if that might have a little hiccup happening. We'll see. We shall see. But yeah, I'm doing the gory red for his pants because BB's place is very much dark reds and blacks and more intense, moody colors for decor. So everyone who's an employee there is dressed in those colors accordingly, except for Evie. Evie's my little coat check girl. She is just a bottle of sunshine, and she loves her pastels. So you will always see Evie in her pastels. And she also might be a pickpocket, but that's a different... There's a wine called... You know, I didn't do that. There you go. A Malbec. Thank you, DCC. I didn't even think of doing something like that. I should, though, because that would be a flippin' riot. Now that's not nice. Tastes like Drano. And saved just for you in that case. Alright. I did just add more paintbrush thinner also to the red. And again, that's more because of my environment right now. It's gotten so dry with the winter here. The paints are just drying up quickly on me. And I don't like wet palettes, so please don't even say, why don't you try what palette I have? I don't like them. That's my two. But by all means, if you like them, go. Go, go, go. Hello, miniatures. How are you doing? And hello, Last Laugh. Thank you for jumping in as well. But yeah, Evie has this little closet in the coat check area of all these wonderful things that the players have a chance to get if they want to look more the part of the, you know, patrons of a 1920s speakeasy. So she has clothes, she has accessories. It's a lot of fun to play around with. All right, so here we go with the pants. And I thought it'd be fun to play off the green of the skin with the red of the pants, kind of playing contrary colors to each other. So that's one leg. Let's get the other leg. Yes, I know I say leg funny. Sue me. You won't get much. And hello, Vincent. Oh, awesome. Glad you made the cube. Hope you had fun doing that. Now, as I'm painting his pants, I'm thinking they probably have to have these specially made for the tail. That's how my brain's functioning today. I bet that was a real hell of a seam to have to work on. Because, you know, it's not like it was printed out. Oh, God. But yeah, definitely liking the gory red for the pants. It's fun. I'm also having fun with this music. It's nice to change the music up every so often. I bounced off. Yeah, I mean, some people are just gaga over them, which is totally fine. You know, I'm glad people enjoy them, but I've tried it and it just, not my thing. Truly not my thing. Now, a few of these songs from TeknoAxe are older recordings sort of revamped with the, I think it's dubstep or electro influence thrown in. Well, hello, little 5-month-old grandson, Steven. That's so sweet. Hi, Jolene. Facebook threw up a picture of my kids as, like, wee bitty boys from a while back, and I was just looking, I'm like, oh my God. They were so small. And those grins, they still have those grins, thank God, but it was just funny to see them so tiny, tiny, tiny. Oh, DCC, what am I going to do with you? Yeah, the menu is like 3 pages long. I think I'm good. I got way too into it. I may even just like make little mock menus to hand out to players at the castle just for the fun of it. So you never know, that might become a tutorial. How to make little tavern menus for your games, if you so choose to really enhance it up. We'll see. A lot of it is just the timing of everything. There's like a list of order of operations. This is what has to get done first. Like obviously the minis and the main bits of terrain. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Vincent. Thank you very much. Okay, that takes care of Cal's pants. Yeah, I like that Papa Red with his skin tone. That's going to be fun to play around with. Then I'm going to do the shirt, but that means I really need to make sure I might actually switch brushes because I don't want to cross-contaminate. And then we have a pink shirt because, you know, one day he just washed them together in the wash, and that would be bad. So I will still clean this one off, and I will go back to it. But I'm going to jump over to a similar brush. But it's still one of those more slender pointed style brushes. It's just not the same one, so that I am not getting, no, too thick. So I'm not getting the colors bleeding together. What I'm going to do is, because obviously if I start out with pure white, you really can't play with the color too much. So I'm using the Wolf Gray. There we go. Wolf Gray for the shirt, and then I'll go to true white to do the highlighting and everything like that. I just need a drop of that. I don't need to go crazy. But he's got this, you know, just basically a sort of like a chef's shirt. Got tongue twisters going. Well, hello there, Roll for Damage. It has been a while. How you been? So I'm going to take this Wolf Gray, yes, onto the shirt. And then, like I said, go back with white once that's all taken care of. And highlight back out the collar and the folds of the shirt. Unfortunately, French is not my strong suit. Some words I do get there, DCC, but not all of it. You better behave yourself. Ooh, hold on. He's got a shadow cast that's blocking my view. Trying to be very careful right now around his neckline. But all right. Yeah, it's definitely a paint thinning day. Okay, DCC, you can write your own menu. How's that? You go ahead and write your own menu. Can't guarantee it'll show up on the list, but you've got some ideas there. Give it a go. Now, what you really want to order from Cal is his lovely little crawfish bake. That's definitely, you don't want to miss that. Theoretically, because you know, you're just role-playing it out. So what I'm doing first is around the collar. I'm not getting nitpicky about getting into where the collar and the skin meet, because I'm actually let that play around. Is that the same one, Vincent? Oh, it's a different, thank you, Vincent. Appreciate that. I'm gonna let that work as a shadow for me. And it takes the nitpickiness out of it too. So I'm edging around the collar basically to lift the collar up and off. I'm gonna make it stand out. And then I'll go and I'll do the main body. Oh, Jolene! Thank you, everyone. You guys are great. I love my ones. That's also the other thing. It's like, I didn't want to miss chatting with you guys on a Wednesday. Because I may not feel 100%, but I always do feel great after talking with you guys, which is fun. Alright. This is going to just be some awkward angles. I am sorry, but fix a life. So see, we've got his collar going. Yoink. My right is my left is my right. And I'm going to get this area all painted up as well. Except this band right here, that is part of the apron. So I'm going to paint around the apron straps and keep using the Wolf Gray. And again, as we get closer into areas, I'm just going to feather this a little bit. I'm not going to work on getting it super duper duper close, because then it's going to look more like a shadow playing around underneath his arm. Right through there, in that back area. Wink. Oh, let's see here. You guys are chatty today. where the strap, well, yeah, the apron string strap starts up. So I'm just gonna work around that. And what you're seeing me do is I'm actually pushing it against my pinky because that helps me stabilize it more. So if those of you are like, how do I do that? It really does help to get a nice position to stabilize here. So it helps you keep it more steady, both hand and mini. That's why I didn't put it on the bottle, because I can manipulate things a little bit more using my two hands than I can with the bottle factor going on. And it gives me a little bit more of a steady hand, because like I said, my inhaler likes to make me slightly jittery after taking it. But with a head cold, kind of had to take it. Let me see here. I love that you guys are talking about beers now. Alright, I'm turning him upside down so I can get these angles a little bit more easily. Bourbon will kill the germs. I probably am going to do a hot toddy later tonight. I'm not even kidding. I was going to do it last night, but then I just ended up falling asleep. Anyways, so. But they do help. Especially if you get a good lemon. So see? His shirt is taking on color. Now I'm going to get the sleeves. Oh boy. At this point what I'm just doing is I'm pulling in some water to help with the drying out issue that I'm having with the paints. Funny thing is, come summertime, it almost takes twice as long for my paints to dry because of the fact that it gets so humid where we are. So I like painting in fall and spring. Those are the sweet spots for painting times for me. Because then everything is just right. This is why I went for a narrow brush too, so that I wasn't nicking the itty bitty straps or having to flip between two different brushes. That can get to be a headache at times. But I do want this to be a closer to bright white type of shirt, which is why I'm using this wolf gray, and then I'll go back in and highlight with white instead. Oh, I think I just got his elbow. Yep, I did. Hold on. One moment, please. If you ever slip, you can quickly take a clean brush with a little bit of water and just get it off there. There we go. Okay, miniatures and DCC, I'm going to ask you to flip to English, please, because it's distracting. And also, just out of respect for everyone else, if you don't mind, I would appreciate that. Let's see. Da, 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 da. You're not even sick and you want a hot toddy too? Miguel? Yeah. There you go. We'll just get some hot toddies later this evening. Those will be fun chats. Everyone have a hot toddy. Oh, good Lord. Okay. Oh, you can't have alcohol? That's I can't do beef. Like, I truly can't eat beef. It does not agree with my system. Anything that's a cow-related product. The body says, nuh-uh. Okay, so here we go with his sleeves and his back. So I have the other sleeve and one part in the front to get. Let me just take a sip of water. Hey, DCC, I'm going to ask you again, please, because it's confusing me. Flip to English in the chat, guys. Just be respectful. Everyone also wants to participate and play along. Let me get this front part before I absolutely forget I had that going. Thank you, guys. All right, so that gets the front done. We just have the one sleeve left. Hold on. Wait, what? I missed something. Ooh, there you go. Hot toddies at D&D. I had a nice apple brandy I used once for a hot toddy. It was so yummy. Of course, now I can't find it. We threw the bottle out before I got the name. I forget what the label looks like, so oh well. Back to the drawing board and trying out other apple brandies here and there. All right. Yep, we're in frame. Careful, careful, carefully. There we go. It's such a thin little strap, I don't want to cover it. That will be bad. But I have the 2 games happening tomorrow. We're doing Stories to be Told, and then Dawnbringers are back because we have Scotty back. Yeah, but I can do bison. That's the funny thing. I can do bison meat. I can't do cow. Something with the protein strains. Okay, this music is actually a lot of fun. I might just keep this playing after I'm done with the, with the live stream. Nice and upbeat. This is also why I did the stone gray dry brush ahead of time, because I knew it would help me with not having to get as close down to where the white and the green would have to meet, and it starts acting more like a shadow. Whoops, too close, which you can kind of see happening right there. All right, shirt is pretty much, yeah, that's good for the shirt. Should we do the Crocs? The lime green Crocs? Oh, actually, yeah, no, that's a good idea. Of course, I just rinsed my brush. What I'm going to do is, let's give him white socks. Come on, white socks with lime green socks with the Crocs. That'll be fun. It's cool, Doc. I had my fill before I got allergic to it. Hair back today? No, it's just tucked behind my ear. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him sort of almost like the white gym sock look, still using the wolf gray. And I am going to get quiet here because this is itty bitty painting space right now. And it might have to go out of view for a couple minutes for certain angles. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to really get that in screen. Maybe. Maybe. Hey, I'm painting and talking at the same time. Hold on. What did I miss? What was the water question? Totally missed it. Ask the question again and I'll try answering it. Remember, brain's probably at 75% right now. Thank you to Decongest It. So ask the water question again and I will respond to that one. Because I don't remember, I didn't see it. My apologies, I did not see. I'm just going to bring it down to about where the ankle would be. I'm going to do my best to try and keep this in frame and focus for you guys to see what I'm doing, but there's actually kind of tricky ways to work around the tails right now, so I can't promise that I will. But I'll definitely show you when I'm done what I just did, so you can see where my brain's been working. All right, so basically just gave him a little crew sock type of look all the way around, and the rest will be the lime green for the Croc shoe, which should be fun. Add to his little quirkiness. Why not? If you want the water question answered, type it in again. I am not scrolling back up because then I have to put everything down. I already said I'm drinking water. You missed that part. Let me get the other side here. And back around. God, no. Tried it once, never again. Let's just make sure. Oh, yep, I did miss a spot. I had a feeling. I had a feeling. Ooh. Okay, so now he's got his white socks. Not the team. The apparel. Oh, this is going to be fun. Yeah, but I'm also fighting this cold, so if you can dial it back a bit, I would really appreciate it. Please. All right, now we're going to do this fun lime green color, which is actually the Escopena green, which should be the level I want it to be of loud and obnoxiously green, because, you know, Crocs. Crocs seem a little less ugly if they're brighter colors. I don't know why. Not that I'd, you know, go around wearing them. Well, it can also be boot you out of the chat day if you guys want to keep it going. Seriously, please, let's dial it back. Yep, this is a nice bright green. Look at this. That is going to be so in your face, but so much fun. And again, it's just because of having it at these different angles makes it awkward. Put you down a little bit, let's see. Pardon me, I'm just trying to adjust it more, see if that'll help. We'll go with that. Now for the bases, I am going to do something fun with them. I'm just debating if I want to make, I think I might make Cal's look like sort of the classic square kitchen tiles. So that way, sorry, that way he'll, you know, look the part in the kitchen. And then for Mama, I think I might just kind of give her like a fun little swampy influenced type base, just to kind of nod to where she's normally hanging out. Yes, a Croc wearing Crocs. It's too perfect. You know, and yes, I know there weren't Crocs back in the 1920s, but there also weren't, you know, like wizards and fairies and things like that. It's basically a place where you can time travel and everything too. That's sort of built into the canon of the homebrew. So you can have fun with it. I just love the aesthetic of the 1920s and the speakeasy stuff. Hello, Warlock Minis. How are you today? I almost said Wylock Minis. Nope, not Wylock. All right, that's one Croc. Oh my God. Oh, I should go in with a gray after this dries and do like the dots. Oh, that's going to be a happening. Yeah, I'll go back in with a dark gray and I'll do the air vents on the Crocs with dots. I'll just bring up my little dotting tool and do that. That'll be fun. This mini is from Miguel Zavala, MZ4250 from Thingiverse. It's a 3D print mini that he created for me. So do go and check his stuff out. Oops, slipped. I'm not gonna worry about that because like I said, I'm gonna do the base. I do the bases at the end anyway, so if any paint gets on them, meh. But yeah, I'm loving this green. This is fun. So if you check out his, he's got a whole bunch of free mini files to print out on your 3D printer. And he's a gem, and he created these minis for me for my homebrew that I have going. No, these are for games for people at D&D in a Castle, because I'm one of their night DMs. And I am just working on a really fun and hilarity and hijinks style homebrew for that one. But I'm sure the kids are going to get a kick out of them, a kick out of them when they do see them. And obviously they're minis we can put to use in other games. Oh, I so can't wait to go back in and do the gray dots. That'll definitely make the look even more crockish. Yeah, Miguel, you're like my hero with this. I'm so excited to have these guys to be able to bring with me. Make sure they get packed up extra, especially carefully. I'm saving bubble wrap and other little containers to make sure these transport safely. Oh my god, look at that. Oh, that was my stomach growling. Must be lunchtime. This is too much fun. That is too much fun. I love the green. Jen, thank you for telling him about the Crocs and the bunny slippers. All right, I'm gonna let Cal dry a little bit. What I'm gonna do for his apron is, I don't want to get into that quite yet because I want to do some more detail work because the apron's gonna be the very last thing because I'm taking a very thinned black and basically doing a black wash over his apron. And those highlights will still show, but more as a darker gray, and then call it done on him. So that the apron's like the very last thing I'm going to do. Did we finish up Death and Taxes? No. Looks like that's going to be our go-to fill-in when we can't do Dawnbringers. So that is in the works for to be continued. We were getting arrested at the very, very end, for sure. Okay, so Mama. Let's jump over to Mama. She's got this fantastic blue that I'm going to do. So I'm going to use, I didn't have a blue that I liked from the Vallejo line, so I'm using Tahiti blue from Ceramcoat, which is a really nice, vibrant blue that I love to tap into for water, actually. That's way more than I need, but can't really get it to come out any less than that. Okay, go have fun. And then let me actually jump over to this. I'm going to use this brush now because it's still got a nice point on it, but it's a bit bigger since I have more surface space to work with. I'm going to moisten it a little bit. So I'm going to put this Tahiti blue on her bathrobe, get that on first. Then I'll move down to the bunny slippers because those are going to be a nice, start it as like a fuchsia pink. And then it'll get highlighted in more classic pink. And I think what I'm going to do, I've been toying with this idea. You've seen me use that texture paint before, the white paint. So what I think I'm going to do is around the collar is add a thin bit of that texture white paint around her collar and then bring it down the front and do the edge of her robe with that so we get like the super fuzzy robe. You know what I'm talking about, like Grandma used to have. So that's why you're going to see me not get too finicky around the collar area because I'm going to put a different texture up and around the top of it. So I'm going to get it a little bit painted up, but I'm not going to get in there. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I love bringing kids into D&D. They have such a kick out of doing it. My son and his buddies, I still can picture their happy little faces when we were playing that game for his birthday party. So I will be the first to tell you, get your kids into playing D&D. It's so good for them. It really is. Ooh. I think I just painted one of the ears. I'll fix that. But yeah, I thought of really fun, bright, vibrant blue. Hello, Akile. How are you? Let me see here. Just looking to see if I've caught up with the chat. I think I have. Again, if I missed a question, just retype it. I'm working on 4 as opposed to 6 cylinders today. That's my speed. What I'm hoping to do is I'm going to get these guys with all their base colors on, because we're already getting close to 1 o'clock. And then I will finish them up next week, because that's just going to be highlighting stuff and adding extra little details on. So we'll do part 2 for these 2 next Wednesday. And then the Wednesday after that is going to be stick a pin in it, because I'm not sure, because that might be timing-wise a little bit too tight for me, because I have to drive up to meet with my friend before we go up to Boston for PAX. Not Unplugged, PAX East. That's the one I want. Which one am I going to this time? But PAX Unplugged is on the list of cons I'm going to hit for 2019. For those of you wondering, I will be at PAX Unplugged. Gen Con is another one I will be going to. Hooray! A lot of good people are going to Gen Con, so I'm excited about that. And then, what else? Origins. Provided I get the pass. If I get the pass, then I'll definitely hit Origins. If not, I'm going to have to think about things because it's kind of tight quarters traveling-wise as it is. So yeah, that's the tentative list. There could be more depending on if people want me to come to the cons and they're basically paying for me to go there. Because otherwise it gets expensive. If you heard my tummy grumbling, so sorry. I'm going to have some miso soup as soon as I am done. I promise. And again, this edge, I'm going to do that fun white texture paint around. So right now I'm just putting that blue on it. But I'm not going to get overly crazy with it. I may even have to do 2 coats of this blue. We shall see how it dries up. Which happens, especially with light blues, that definitely happens sometimes. But I won't be doing that texture detail until the very end of the mini after everything's done. It just makes it a lot easier than trying to avoid washes around it and whatnot. So for right now, she's going to have something of a little plain Jane apron, not apron, robe. And then I'll go back in. I'm going to try painting some butterflies on and fun things like this. I'm going to talk about the Crippled God minis. They're going to be internationally available. I will say that because Crippled God Foundry is located in Greece, so they will ship internationally. So yes, the Guild Masters sets will be available worldwide. And obviously shipping's going to vary depending on how far away you are from Greece. It's actually something I got to work on too this week, is get some information pulled together and get my video on it started to be released soon. All right, go have fun at your meeting. Thanks for jumping in, Miguel, and thank you for her. No, really, thank you so much for doing this because they are an absolute riot and I'm loving them. So go check out Miguel's stuff on Thingiverse, guys and gals, especially if you have a 3D printer. He's got a great selection. You will not be disappointed with all the variety he has in it. Go now. Okay, now to get her arms. Oh, I should put some of that texture paint around her wrists too. You know what I might do? I might go look at like stills from the nanny, because she had those crazy robes the whole time. You must have that set. Well, keep your eyes peeled for it then when we make the big announcement as to when it goes on sale and all the information, because that's going to come out in a little bit. We're still getting things coordinated for it, so in that respect, patience. But yes, it will be soon. Oh, shoot. I wasn't the one who printed them. Miguel did. Jen, are you still in the chat? What does Miguel use for his printing spool? If Jen's still here, she might know. Normally we do PLA on our printer, but this was not printed by me. I totally forgot to ask Miguel what he used for printing these. They were clear, if that helps. How long? Oh, let's see. In resin. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate that. Over 3 years now? Definitely over 3 years. But I also play like 3 to 5 times a week now. Thanks to the one-shots and the streams I'm on. I love playing. Yeah, I'm gonna let that color dry, and I think that might require a second coat because it's kind of streaky, which it can happen again with light blues, because I really want that to be vibrant. So I will let that dry. I'm gonna get the fuchsia out now for the bunny slippers, and actually the curlers too. I'm gonna make that fun bright pink, play around with it. Yes, I saw that. It was resin. All right. So I'm also going to go to Ceram Coats Fuchsia, which I guess I haven't cracked this bottle open before. Get my scissors out. And then I'll get her curlers and her bunny slippers started up. If it can come out. There we go. Squish. Now this I am going to thin down a little bit. Ooh, we're playing 20 questions, Gabe. Honestly, I like the role play and the interactions between players and DM. And I like so many different aspects about it. There's no true favorite part. The experience itself is my favorite part. I'm going to mix this with the base of my brush as opposed to the brush itself, because this paint's a little bit thicker and I don't want it to make the brush wonky. Well, speaking of 20 questions, I did do a fun interview with Dan from The Lonely Havoc. He has a podcast, and that was a great one. He has some really good questions. I was quite impressed with his variety. So that's something I recently posted on my Facebook and my Twitter account, if you want to try and catch that. So basically what I'm doing for the rollers is I'm pulling the color from top to bottom. It's also why I'm going for this bright, bright pink. Now this angle I'm going to have to go bottom to top, but hey. But this is just that fuchsia color playing off of the, oop, too close, the gray and the black that's already on there. But you can see it kind of gives it that fun crazy old lady. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with a very thin brush and just pull some grays down to make it look like the hair wrapped around the curlers. Let's see here. Move that over there. And I am just pulling off some of the paint on my hand because I don't want to overload the curlers and glob them up. Oop, a little bit more forward for you. And I'm going to use the same pink on the slippers because that way we'll have a nice balance of top and bottom going on between the two. Okay, so that's shaping up. Let me see here. Let me get the edges now. So for this, I'm just going to very carefully, very lightly, just dance the brush across the edge, because what I don't want to do is get a big glob of paint caught up in the opening area of the curler, because that's going to get filled in so fast with just a touch of paint. So it's a very light application of this fuchsia, so that the front of it gets the paint, but without those little holes getting filled up with paint. Which classes are the minis more look like? What do you mean by that, Achille? Well, I mean, crocodile people aren't necessarily crocodiles. Remember, we are dealing with a fantasy setting. Just saying. And it's my world. I can do what I want. Oop, need more paint. All right, so I'm doing the same thing on the other side. And then also trying to get it so I can through here. See, just dipping those out. Yep, a little bit more paint. Not too much. Just a touch. Okay, so that takes care of the rollers, and then when that paint is dry, I'll go back in and add that little touch of gray. Crocodile Curler's new Elton John song. Now, this is going to be the fun part, because there's like a little sliver of... This is also why I don't bother with the base until the very, very end. Because I can cheat it by pushing it down onto the base to get that very small edge of slipper. And then not have to worry. But you have to get the back of the slippers. Stand by, this might be awkward angle time again. Painting behind their ears right now. And yes, pink bunny slippers are a must for this because that's just too funny. Do you mean, I'm trying to catch up with what you mean, Kelly. Do you mean from the Guildmaster set? They'll be playable miniatures for sure. They're the right scale and everything. It's not that one mini looks specifically like it, oh, it has to be a this, if that's what you're going for. When Croc was young. Oh, God. Pink bunny slippers! And what I'm going to do with the bunny slippers is I'll go back in with a very light pink and edge around it. So like the inside of the ears will have a lighter pink. I may even go white for the inside of the ears. We'll see. And then I'll make sure to go back in and do the eyes and the nose. Maybe I'll even try doing whiskers. Trying to get that little sliver on the inside. We have a little bit over here. The edge of the ear. Now, I don't know if Miguel has these up on his selection yet. Oh, you're gonna preserve them? You have to make a pretty special display case for that then. Okay, that's one bunny. Some bunny done. We'll get the second bunny going. Actually, let me get a drink of water. The bunny ears on this one are tucked under more of the robe she has. It will be interesting to see what people end up doing with their minis. The ones who get them. I just think it's hysterical. There's a mini of me out there. And then when friends of mine also get minis of themselves in miniature versions, I'm like, how does it feel to have a mini of you? I was just like, this is weird. Yeah, it's kind of bizarre. But it's fun. I actually like using my mini V for the pictures with the crafts and stuff because it's good for scale purposes. And she's got the logo, which, hey, that definitely helps. Yeah, I think I'm going to finish up the ears and then call it for today because I'm starting to feel really tired suddenly. So, get this section done since I have the paint out, but I'm not going to be pulling out. They're limited editions. They go in a fancy case. That's logic I can work with. Yep. All right, now I just have to get that little touch of pink around the edge of her feet. And again, I'm going to cheat it by running this along the base more than against the mini to have the paint work with me and not go up on the ankles. Can I even get in there? That's gonna be the next question. Can I reach that part? This could get interesting. Hold on. Stand by. Yeah, that's not even an angle I can show you right now. Okay, so that takes care of her slippers. Her rollers. I am, between the stream, I'm going to do another coat of this blue. I'm going to just thin it out a little bit more so I can layer it. I don't want to overdo it and then have it look clunky. So I'm going to work on the blue robe a little bit more. And then I'm going to put these guys to the side, basically. And then when you guys come back, I'll do the highlights and stuff. Because I don't think... No, I'm going to debate washes. I don't know if I need to jump into washes quite yet. So we'll get these two finished up next week. So it'll be next Wednesday at noon. And hopefully this cold will be going. Achille more is going to be released as we get the information. So right now what's out there is pretty much what's out there. So just kind of keep an eye on things over the next few weeks as we get more details. So these guys will finish up next week. Well, I'll finish up next week. And you can see how they end up looking when they're all done. But they're, like I said, this is a really fun pair. I am so tickled to bits that Miguel did these for me and really captured the personality of the two NPCs that I have for the game. Yeah, Vince, it's like I just hit the wall. So thank you, those of you who came out and hung out in the chat with me, and thank you for understanding that the spirit is very much eager to see you guys and hang out with you guys every week, but I'm fading, and I'm fading fast, so I think I need to go call it, have some miso soup, and then take a nap, so that I hopefully will be in fighting form for tomorrow. But take care, have a lovely Wednesday. I will see you again here next week, same time, same place, different date. So take care, everyone, and I will talk with you all on the flip side.